Ready to tune up some more? Welcome to Guitar Chords Info stream, Tuning Up Part 5. This is Part 5 of a 6-part video series on how to tune the guitar. And in Part 5, I want to show you another method of tuning the guitar. So I call this method the 5th fret method of tuning the guitar, because to my knowledge it doesn't have a name, so I just made one up. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the online guitar tuner again that I used back in Part 4, and I'm going to check the tuning on my 6th string or low E string. Okay, sounds like that one is still in tune. And now I'm going to use the 5th fret on my strings to check the tuning of the other strings next to it. And before I explain how it works, I'm going to actually do it, and so you'll get to see it done first. That way the explanation won't be so wordy, and I won't have as much of a tendency to get tongue-tied and feel like I'm babbling, and you won't have to listen to me babble as much. So here it goes. Okay, now let me explain how it works. Okay, now my 6th or low E string, I know that it's in tune from using the online guitar tuner. So I want to have one string in, at least one of my strings in tune before I start, otherwise it'll be for naught. So now I'm going to use my 6th or low E string to check the tuning on my 5th or A string. So to do that, I'm going to go to the 5th fret on my 6th string, with the frets being these metal things that go up and down on the fretboard here. So I'm going to count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And instead of putting my finger on top of the fret, I'm going to put my finger in the space right behind the fret. And spaces, that refers to the spaces here in between the frets. So back to the 5th fret, when I'm going to put my finger right behind the 5th fret on the 6th string, and then I'm going to mash down real hard on it with my first finger and play a note. And again, it's really what I'm doing is putting my finger in the space right behind the 5th fret. For some reason in guitar playing we say 5th fret or 7th fret or 8th fret or whatever, but what we're really referring to is the space behind the fret. So on the 6th string or low E string, I'm going to go to the 5th fret and make a note. I'm going to put my finger in the space right behind the fret, and I'm going to mash hard on it so I get a good clean note. If I don't mash hard on the note, that'll get something like that. We want to mash hard enough on it so that the string vibrates and we're not muffling it. And of course, if I was to put my finger right on top of the fret, I would just get a sound like that, no matter how hard I mashed on it. But it's better to go right behind the fret. So I'm going to play that note with my first finger on the 6th string at the 5th fret, and then I'm going to play my 5th string open. By open, that means that I'm not making any note on it, I'm just playing it open. So again, the 6th string, first finger at the 5th fret, and the 5th string open. So I'm getting the same pitch there. So that means that my 5th string is also in tune. So now I'm going to use the 5th fret at my 5th string to check the tuning on my 4th string. So going up to the 5th fret on the 5th string, I'll make a note there and play it, and then the 4th string open. Well, that one's gone out of tune a little bit. Probably because of the lighting that I'm using to make the videos. The lights, they say the lights zap half of your energy, and they're also not good for a guitar staying in tune. So let me fix my fourth string. I think I'm going to use my voice here too. Yep, the fourth string is definitely a little bit low in pitch. There it is. Okay. And before I go on, I want to say something about this using your voice. Only do it on the strings that are well within your vocal range. There's no need to strain your vocal cords at all. So this one, I can do that with relative ease. Now if I was to go to higher strings, which I'll demonstrate later on, as I get down on these strings, tuning them, that might put a strain on my vocal cords. So please don't use it. The idea here is not to challenge your vocal cords or strain them in any way. Just whichever ones you can do comfortably will be fine. So now that my fourth string is in tune, I'm going to use the 5th fret at my 4th string to check the tuning on my 3rd string. So here I go, 4th string up to the 5th fret, play a note with my first finger. Sounds like we got a match there. Well, that one is in tune, the 3rd string is in tune. Now I'm going to use my 3rd string to check the tuning on my 2nd string, but I'm going to do something different here. I'm only going to go to the 4th fret here on my 3rd string instead of the 5th fret. The 3rd string, that's the exception. So so far I've used the 5th fret until I got to the 3rd string. On the 3rd string we want to use the 4th fret. So go 1, 2, 3 up to the 4th fret, and I'm going to make a note there at the 4th fret on my 3rd string, and then play the 2nd string open. Sounds like it's a little bit off to me. I'm going to use my voice to check. Sounds like this one's a little tiny bit high in pitch. Yeah, I believe it was just a little bit high. And if you couldn't, that was real, there was just a tiny bit of difference. And if you weren't able to hear that, don't hear that little bit of discrepancy, don't get discouraged, because I've been tuning these guitars for a decade or 3 now, or maybe it's 4, I don't know. But like I said earlier, chances are a beginner is not going to do a perfect job of tuning a guitar. But you'll only get better at it as you stick with it. So now I've got my 6th, 5th, 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string in tune. So now I'm going to use my 2nd string to check the tuning on my 1st string. And I'm going to do that by going to the 5th fret. We're back to the 5th fret again, which we've been using all along. So on the 2nd string, I'm going to go up to the 5th fret, play a note on my 2nd string at the 5th fret, and then the 1st string open. I believe I have a match there. Now let me play this chord that I've been using all along to demonstrate tuning for you. And don't worry, I'll teach you this chord in due time. Sounds good. Okay, and just to review the 5th fret method again, we use the 5th fret at the 6th string to check the tuning on our 5th string, and then the 5th fret at the, let me make sure I said that right, I use the 5th fret on the 6th string to check the tuning on my 5th string, and the 5th fret on the 5th string to check the tuning on my 4th string, and the 5th fret on my 4th string to check the tuning on the 3rd string, And then the next one is the exception. I'm going to use the 4th fret on my 3rd string to check the tuning on my 2nd string. And then I'll use the 5th fret on my 2nd string to check the tuning on my 1st string. So now you have two strategies for tuning your guitar. And there are others, but I'm just going to talk to you about a couple more in the next video. But before we go there, I just want to say that the way I would advise you to use the two methods that you've used so far is to, when you first pick your guitar up for the day, then use the online guitar tuner and tune the guitar that way. And then periodically during your practice session, or you're enjoying the guitar session or strumming or whatever you want to call it, when you want to check your tuning on occasionally, then use this method. That'll save you from the rigmarole of having to go through an electronic device again. So it's good to know both methods. So there's two methods for you that you can use to tune your guitar. And that's about it for part 5. In part 6, got a couple of more resources I want to talk to you about. And then after that, you'll be ready to move on to phase 1, where we'll actually start to make chords. So, meanwhile, if you would, please like, even though we've only had boring setup material so far and there's really nothing to like, but it'll get you somewhere eventually, I promise. And subscribe, because there's always more of these videos coming, and leave a positive comment. And that's it for part 5. See you in part 6.